Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where I've just unlocked the large cruiser hull, and the design committee, which is my Discord server, has been working away very diligently on a design for that large cruiser hull. And in fact, I was a bit mean. I also got them to look at the supercruiser hull, which gets unlocked for the Soviets or the Russians as well. It's actually a later tech, and to do design for that as well. And then I was a bit mean and I got pitted them against each other. But the large cruiser is a really interesting one. So this has been pretty much completely designed by the Discord server. I'm going to try my best to replicate it, and then we'll see if we can see if I come across any improvements along the way. So 31.5 knots was the proposed speed, with reduced beam and draft to make sure it's nice and fast. Standard bulkheads. Maximum bulkheads, standard crew. So this, with maximum bulkheads, that's quite nice. I might consider adjusting that to get more draft back in. I don't, for instance, if I went for a 0-0, it would be bulkier. It does save a lot of money though. Yeah, that's 40 million on draft. Okay. Well, we'll stick to the community design. We can fiddle with things later. Then, as with all Soviet ships, she's running semi-oil, balanced using the regular geared turbines. Now, I do have a couple of ships with geared turbines too, so might be able to use that. They've used electric 1, but which is the best. Well, it's not actually. So I'm just going to use hydraulic. There's no danger of any flaws with that. They've used an unbalanced rudder, which is a bit different. All other Soviet ships are using balanced rudders, so I think I'll stick to that. They're using a shaft 2, but yes, because shaft 3 introduces force. Very good. They're using the Krupp 3. I might come back and adjust that. We do have a few ships using Krupp 4 now, including, and this will be a large and important ship, so worth considering. Then, in terms of towers, they wanted me to use the Heavy Modern 2, which is the best tower. Slap that down. And the Heavy Secondary 2. Very nice. And a Tall Funnel 1 and a Tall Funnel 2. There we go. Yeah, there's a big jump in smoke if you go up to these ones. In terms of armament, and I was doing some recording with pitiful, so I need to change this back to millimeters. There we go. We're going to use 310 millimeter guns. Now, I don't have the Mark 4 version of these yet. I still only have the Mark 3. So this is effectively the same weapon that is used on the Project 23108s already. So this is the exact same gun. We're just kind of updating the design. It's a little bit slower and a little bit tougher compared to our existing battlecruisers. We're not going to use duals though. We're going to use triples. go. Now, given that I know that the Mark IV guns are quite chunky, I'm going to use a standard barbette. It might seem a bit big now, but it will make sense later. Forward way offset, that's because this should be kind of here. Something like that. Now I have an half-way offset. Well, that's fairly typical, isn't it? In terms of secondary guns, we're going to have... Oh, and these are going to be 60 caliber, apparently. But again, I don't have the Mark IV, so these are only going to be 50s for now. Secondary guns, we're going to reuse the 120mm gun. And we're going to have them as a kind of chaser arrangement. So these are going to be plus 18, and they wanted them to be 45 caliber. So that'll be just longer. I can only get them up to 43, which is a nasty number. So they're going to have to be 40s for now. I don't like where that one is. It's a little far outboard for me. There we go. It's a bit better. And then we're going to use the 45mm gun that I've used a fair amount in quad mounts, because you can fit an awful lot on this hull. I think that interferes with the turret. Let's go -6. Just make it as long as possible. Yeah. Can't have that one. I can get them to 52, which is again a little bit shorter than the committee design, but I don't have quite the same technology that they had. Right. They've gone for Barbette 5, which I approve of, but they've only gone for Anti-Torpedo 2, which seems very light. Given the AI's love of torpedoes, I'm going to definitely upgrade that to Anti-Torpedo 4. Now, absolutely bring watertight doors and anti-flooding systems. I'm going to stick with good old Citadel 3. Okay, so far so good. Did they have the armament section? Yes, they do. Standard ratio of shells with our standard shell setup or base fuse, cap ballistics, standard. The Cordite 3, TNT 3. They've left it on a standard reload. Nearly all of our ships have enhanced reload and electro-hydro 1 turrets because we can't access the advanced hydraulics anymore. Oops, not stereo, but coincidence 5. A hydrophone just in case. An RDF. Very nice. And then we're into the armouring, and I know I need to balance it, although I don't have the full engine efficiency that they did. I wonder where that is. Oh, I'm a little bit heavier. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm a little bit overweight compared to their version. Their version was more like 31,000 tons, so that's probably right here at the divider. Okay, armouring. Now this is designed to be a fairly well protected ship. There we go. So they want 400mm of belt armour, 200 on the extendeds, 200 on the deck. So this is exactly how I would go about armouring a ship. It's just the standard kind of scheme. 400 on the tower. Just 25mm on the superstructure. I'd maybe upgrade that to 50, personally, if you're going to go for 100 on the extendeds. And then they've gone for 100, 50, and another 50 on the layering. And then they've gone for 400, 150. I'm assuming they maxed that out. No, they didn't. Well, we're going to have 200 on the top. And 400 on the barbette. They've just left that armor as is. If this is our maximum armor, 70 mil, we'll just go for 70 on both. And yeah, no armor on those. Okay, I think that's a pretty faithful replica of what the committee asked for. There's just one problem, and that is it is too heavy. So I'm going to have to make some decisions, and that has happened for a few reasons. The main one probably is that the committee members only had access to the custom battle. They don't have access to my campaign save. They don't know exactly what year I'm going to be trying to produce this in. Things like that. Still have a little bit of an half-weight offset. Move that turret out a little bit. I know that's counterproductive to what I'm actually trying to do. Do you know what? I might make a change here. These turrets, and I discovered this when I was doing the looking at destroyers and light cruisers, these are really, really heavy. Now, these are 138 tons. Our main guns are obviously heavier than that, but that is quite heavy. I'm just wondering, maybe rather than the 45s, we could use the 80 millimeters. There's obviously a pretty big advantage using 80s over 45s in general, because obviously they're bigger guns. They can also fit armor, which means they shouldn't be able to be taken out as easily. And I'm just going to get rid of these 120 millimeter weapons because they're really, really heavy. These things are only 50 tons. So they're a third of the weight of those 120 millimeter guns, and I just think the 120s are just not gonna cut it. So I'm gonna cut those out. And we just need to get this thing underway. So unfortunately, I think that means using more advanced technology. So we could go for the Crypt 4, saves us quite a bit, or the Crypt 5, which saves us an awful lot. I could just increase displacement. I am going over budget here, which is the other problem, and I'm going over on my engine efficiency. The other option would be to use gear turbines 2. That will save us a little bit. Starboard weight offset, really? Oh, of course, because this gun will need manually placing. There we go. 5%. Now, compared to the original design. Yeah, they do have it at medium range. I could just go down to standard bulkheads. That does save me a fair bit. And then I can probably get away with it just by upping displacement a little bit. Because my only other option would be to downgrade the actual armor itself. So instead of using 400mm armor, downgrade it to, I don't know, 350 or something like that. That would be the only other way of getting it in. So, yeah, not perfect. Not perfect at all. Just wondering, can I just max the displacement if I wanted to? Yeah, for no reason. But if we make a 30... And the reason I'm doing this is not just to spend money, but to have a little bit of displacement left for a radar. So I'm going to go for 32,000-ish tons, so 32,000 and change. And then you just need to fix that halfway offset. Another reason for dumping the 120s is to get better firing arcs on the turrets after 0.1. is fine. A little boat deck. That's quite nice. Okay, well, compromises had to be made. And there's some personal changes. I mean, the weight issue was probably also to do with the fact that I put on the anti-torp 4. However, I really dislike having not very much torpedo protection, especially if you're going to go for a tough ship. You need to be tough against everything. And the AI loves torpedoes. And the intended prey for this type of ship is going to be cruisers, both light and heavy cruisers. And they tend to be filled full of torpedoes. So taking a torpedo is a risk. So it's not exactly the same ship, but hopefully the committee doesn't mind too much with the small changes that I made. And that 80mm battery is certainly very effective against destroyers, transports. The 12-inch guns, well, rather the 310mm guns, are very effective against all forms of cruisers. And then I think that's it. So this is going to be the project. Now this is a large cruiser, so I would call it the 2311012 because it is technically a battle cruiser, but it's not a battle cruiser. Mind you, the project 23108 also has the 310, so we'll call it the 2311012. And yeah, I'm happy with that. Different layout. Basically swapping maximum bulkheads for the enhanced torpedo protection. And it is more. And it's more because to get it underweight, I mean, this is the thing between building ships on different versions. They'll have, I think they're building in a slightly later year, the committee, in the custom battles. So they have more of the weight reduction text and things like that. And short 4 is heavy. But I think overall, these should be very effective. Basically an update to the 23108s. They're not as fast is the only thing. How much would it cost to push it to 32.5? Not much at all. In fact, that works. The only problem is we don't have enough engine capacity. What about if I just force the boiler? That works, but I go over weight. What about a better funnel? Oh, is that why they went for that funnel? It's the only one that fits? Okay, cool. Is that true for this one as well? Oh, nice. So, yeah, we would have to force the boiler to get the extra speed, and we'll lose range to do that. There we go. More fiddling, more changes. But I think that makes sense, that it's as fast as the previous version. It's not that much more expensive than the 23108s, actually. The 23108s are 83 million. They do not carry armor as good as this. They carry less guns. This is the same speed. It carries more guns. And has better armor and better protection. And is actually slightly lighter. So it's just a leaner, faster, meaner, and better version of the cruiser killer that we already have. Okay, I'm liking this thing. I'm liking this thing very much indeed. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to order up 3 of them. 1 for each fleet. So 1 out of, well, Odessa. Oops. What did you just do, game? You just duplicate it? Okay, that is a bug. Okay, we're able to have Novorossiysk instead. Kronstadt and Vladivostok. I don't know what is happening with that. That is very weird. Excuse me. Campaign. Ship. Duplicated. And broken. List. Tried to change the port of construction to Odessa. The game created a duplicate with question mark as the port, and some of the info is missing or incorrect, such as the year. Then, always fascinating doing bug reports. Do make sure you send them. The devs can't fix bugs if you don't send in a report. Right. Well, building aside, the war continues. A grand alliance against Japan and the USA, but I haven't seen any of their ships for a while. Maybe they'll try and send something through Suez. Maybe the Japanese will. Well, I don't know. We've got this cruiser group here. Hopefully the Pacific Fleet can intercept. We do have everything on sea control, right? Yeah, we do. Good. Did it duplicate it twice? Yeah, look. What's this thing doing here? I can't even click on it. Weird stuff going on. Anyway, that it might be due to the fact that I have changed computers, so I had to pull the save over from my old computer to my new one, and it's possible that there's some weirdness going on with that. Anyway, I'm going to end the turn, and I will be back when there's some interesting things to talk about. Welcome back. I just unlocked the Mark IV 12-inch. So those ships I just designed are going to get refitted as soon as they are finished, which will be in 17 months. That happens. I'd rather get them under construction and get them, you know, actually out and available rather than not having them. But not quite what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting them. I'm still waiting on the Mark III 16-inch gun and the Mark V 10-inch gun potentially. But yeah, the Mark IV 12-inch, I'll take it. However, we also have some news about the actual war that is going on. So the Japanese have been blockaded for a couple of months. I think probably because a lot of their fleet was getting repaired, so their power projection dipped. And now their power projection has come back up, and they're trying to escape. So we actually have two fights. The Dzerzhinsky has found a battleship. The Hyo. This is basically a refight of the type of battles that we were doing the last time we were fighting Japan, but I'll take it. They're defending a convoy, so they shouldn't be able to get away either. Southeast. Okay, let's go. Really nice looking ship, in my humble opinion. Also have, yeah, Dzerzhinsky. Soon to be not replaced. Oh, it's got the weird floating gun texture. Not replaced, but supplemented with a leaner, meaner, faster version. And here are the Japanese. Right. I don't want to go charging in. Let's form up. All these ships that I have are pretty fast. Ooh, that was a good hit. The good thing about having those Mark IV 12-inch guns is I will refit. I can actually get these battlecruisers refitted. I should probably do that after the fights, because Dzerzhinsky will probably be coming in for repairs anyway. Flooding, very nice. Doing a lot of damage. That ship probably needs drop torps. So I'm just going to get the ships to angle away just a little bit. Yeah, that's a lot of pain that we've inflicted there. On that small ship, please. Destroyers, cross back. Okay. Just so that we're sailing parallel. Ooh, ouch. Get out. Smoke. Really? Those 80s blasting away. Got a lot of them in this fleet. Oh, that'll do it. Damn. Oh, what did her in? Some huge hits. 310s. I think it was a 230 high explosive actually. Saw some big numbers all of a sudden. Check at the end of the battle. Satsuma looking a bit sorry for herself. There are the smaller ships. I knew they hadn't disappeared. Satsuma is the main one we want to try and make sure that we sink. She is the most valuable ship in terms of money, of course, but also that is power projection, and power projection is the ability to end blockade. There's some transports around somewhere which I haven't seen, but assuming we'll come across them at some point. Good hit. Zoom in. Proving annoying because she's turned in such a way that she's very angled for us to deal with. Okay, so I'm going to get the Dzerzhinsky to focus on the light. In fact, just focus on the light cruisers for a bit, would you? Get rid of them. Hey, that'll do. Nice shot by the Gleb there, blowing off torpedo launcher. Flooding. And really hard to actually hit those things. There we go. That'll do. Flood them out. Oh, those are transports. Go for the transports. Switch your torps off. Don't want you torpedoing the transports. Be able to murder these extremely fast. Basically going to disintegrate. That's what you get for trying to break the blockade. Oh, so much economic damage. Is that all of them? No, not quite. Sorry about that. But the what's happening? Cables in the way. There we go. Yeah, we have done pretty well. We found Megami. Good, 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 good. Starting to run low on HE shells. Wow. Okay. This is one of the things I've been griping about. Why is it firing HE? Well, you see how Satsuma is kind of rolled over a bit? That means we can really only hit her deck. And because we are close, the game goes, oh, you're close to a deck, so you can't go through it. That pen model really was designed for when that couldn't happen to a ship. Ships just sank without rolling. Which is one of the reasons I'm a big advocate for changing it up so that the penetration isn't a deck pen or a belt pen, but just an armor pen. But I've whinged about that enough in videos. See if we can get the Galeb and the destroyers over here. Maybe finish them off with torpedoes. Right, there goes Megami. Might as well slow up a bit actually. And moving to the other side of the enemy ship. Wait, did I not sink all of the transports? Getting a ping. Yeah, from over this direction. See if we can find it. And goes the Izumi. Going somehow? Yeah, because we're out of AP shells. Great. Can finish her off with a torpedo salvo, of course. I think we got that last merchant ship. The Gleb is getting close. Let's try and finish her off with torpedoes. She's stubbornly going to refuse to go down to shells. Yeah, I think the Gleb is going to get there first. Unless we get lucky and get a flooding hit in the 4 compartments that are unflooded. I mean, she's lost all 3 of her rear turrets. She can really only fire at it forward 2. She's listing so much that she can't really get an angle with any of her guns, so should be able to sail right up to her and finish her off. Oh, got a bit of flooding though, and down she goes. Well, not the cleanest battle in the world, but pretty good. Yeah, those 80mm guns really do put the damage on, don't they? And then, yeah, transports being eviscerated. Well, that's all good. We've got another battle to do, though. We'll talk. But not before I finish off your battlecruiser, the Takao. 388mm guns? 12? My goodness. A challenge for the Gorky, perhaps. We've got a lot of support, though. Let's go. Join. No. Join with the rest of the cruisers. Let's go. Save your torps. Save your torps. Save your torps. Looking good. Oh, don't be a ghost battle. That's just boring. Oh, it is, isn't it? Oh, for goodness sake. Well, on that disappointment, back to the studio. Yeah, I had to think about refitting our existing battlecruisers, but given that we're in a war, and they are important and useful ships, I'd rather wait until we get... Either we're refitting the ones we just built, or we're getting radar, which we are starting to research, which is good. Priority into that, actually, because we do need that. But with that, I'm going to end the episode and say thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.